Hey, thank you for joining me for today's video. Today we're taking a look at another GDPR violation case. So I'm Richard Chapo. I'm an attorney in San Diego, California, and I've been advising online businesses for about the last 20 years. So the GDPR is, of course, the General Data Protection Regulation. It is the privacy regulation that went into effect in May 2018 in Europe, and it is a killer. Now, in this case, we're looking at a situation where the GDPR is being interpreted in a very nitpicky manner. We're looking at a case brought by the Austrian Supervisory Authority, and it involves a store where the store owner went out and installed a CCTV camera at the front that looked down upon the front of the store and the sidewalk. And the Austrian Supervisory Authority argued that that act violated the GDPR because the store owner was recording, quote unquote, too much of the sidewalk. Okay, now there are a couple of thoughts about this. First, in most countries in the world, if you are in a public location, you do not have an expectation of privacy. So if you're in the United States and you're walking down the street or you're in a park or something of that sort, and somebody films you, you don't have an expectation of privacy. You're in a public area. It just doesn't make sense. If we had this kind of a rule, you wouldn't be able to take, videos of festivals or people gathering in a crowd or things of that sort. So it's a very, very kind of odd decision. And the second thing is, if you've ever been in Europe, there are CCTVs, recording cameras everywhere. In London, there is one CCTV for every 11 people. So why don't we hear about more of these violations? Well, because in those situations, those cameras are run by the government. They're surveillance cameras, Big Brother. And of course, the GDPR contains an exemption. So if the government does it, it's okay. But if the store owner does it, well, shame on him. Now, there was an additional violation that the Austrian SA pointed out, and that was that the camera did not contain a statement on it indicating that it was, ta-da, recording people. Okay, so what else would the camera be doing? Also, when was the last time you walked up to a security camera to read a statement on it about what it's doing? Again, this is one case where the GDPR assertions are particularly ludicrous. And then to wrap up the stupidity, we have to focus on the Austrian Supervisory Authority. So the Austrian SA had issued guidance at one point stating that if there was a GDPR violation they were investigating, they would use remedial measures before issuing fines, and fines would only be issued in worst case scenarios. So if you had a data breach and you exposed 50 million records for users or something of that sort, then fines were appropriate. But otherwise, remedial measures would be used, which would be basically warnings. Well, this was the first case brought by the Austrian SA for a GDPR violation, and they ignored their own guidance. Instead of issuing a warning, which would seem to be rather appropriate in this situation, they fined the store owner 4,800 euros, or roughly $6,000. Now, is that a killer fine that's going to wipe out the business? Probably not, but still, it's just, why even put the guidance out? And a lot of us in the legal field have looked at these guidance papers issued by the various regulatory agencies, and you just sort of wonder if they're worth anything. And this would seem to be an indication that they are not. So is a store that puts a surveillance camera out front a GDPR violation? Well, yes. In Austria, if you film, quote unquote, too much of the sidewalk, apparently it is. And so there you are. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, I feel shame. If you're interested in learning more about the GDPR and further GDPR cases, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'll be issuing new videos as the cases come down. You can also go over to our page on YouTube and look under playlists. There should be a playlist for GDPR cases, so you can see some of the other situations where fines are issued or warnings were given. So anyways, thank you for watching. Have yourself a good one.